This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios here in beautiful New Jersey and Scotty's luxurious castle in Beverly Hills, California, as the Devils beat the Arizona Coyotes in overtime 5-4, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. And thank you to Martin Rosario for the super chat. I get we have funks, but this is wrong month for it, as he says in the YouTube Live.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay. What a game, Sam Wu. What a game today. Devils coming through. Big victory against a tough Arizona team, which a lot of people don't give enough credit for. It's been talked about many times. We talked about it here on Devils After Dark, about them being a very, very tough opponent at home. They've beaten the Bruins at home. They've beaten the Carolina Hurricanes at home. They've beaten the Vegas Golden Knights at home. A lot of top teams around the NHL. I believe the Leafs as well. Arizona. Well, yeah, Boston. That was the first one I named. Come on, Sam Wu. Jeez.
No,
you're not paying attention already?
I just had to reiterate that because it's Boston. Nobody's beating Boston, but the Arizona Coyotes at the Mullett.
Yeah. I mean, they're a tough team at home, and they got a lot of young kids on there. I'm a big fan of Lawson Krause. Loved what I saw out of him tonight. Man, is he an intriguing player that was available at the trade deadline. Sure would have been a hefty price tag, but at 20 goals and what's he got, like 140 hits on the season. Woo, baby. But it's finally Timo time in New Jersey, out in the desert. He is here. He has arrived. He is back from his injury. Now, he hasn't played in about 3 weeks on a new team. So, temper the expectations there just a little bit. But Timo time happened pretty early on in this game. Number 62 on the season. Road game in Arizona. Let's talk about it now. Devils After Dark exclusively on the Let's Go Devils podcast network. So Vitek Vanacek back in goal. Love the new pads from Vitek. The Marty Resch or Chico Brodeur, however you want to go with it, helmet design and everything. Love that. Also love those Arizona uniforms. Those desert with the what do they call that? The Keelam or whatever, design there on the bottom for the striping. I think it looks really. They got to put like a touch of turquoise in there because Arizona is like huge on turquoise, and with that maroon, man, is that sharp. But I love those unis over there. Sharon Govich ended up being the scratch, so we were wondering how it was going to play out once Timo came into the lineup. I don't know if anyone was picking that. Boak was staying in, but boy, did it pay dividends tonight. Lindy definitely pushed the right buttons on that one. Sharon Govich was your healthy scratch, along with Brendan Smith on the defensive side over there. Four Swiss players for the Devils tonight, with Siegs, Nico, Timo, and Akira Schmid. I think that might be the first time ever in the NHL. And by the way, Timo, 13 power play goals on the season, so it can definitely help out these special teams over there. Let's get into it now. First period. Pull up my old app over here. Got the old YouTube page going. See everyone already chiming in. First period. Oh yeah, we had this one. Dawson. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Dawson Mercer. Almost. Still got his point streak going, but to start the game, we know he didn't end up getting a goal. He was set to, if he had gotten a goal, and he had about 4 or 5 ridiculous opportunities as well, he would have tied the great one, Old number 99, Wayne Gretzky, the only player to score in 9 straight games, a goal in 9 straight games under the age of 21. So Dawson Mercer had the opportunity to tie that up tonight. Unfortunately, he didn't get a goal, but his point streak is alive. It's still alive. Going in there at 9 games now. But we started it out with actually a great opportunity for Dawson Mercer. John Marino coming up the wing, kind of does a forehand drop back to Nico Hischier, who was pretty close to him. And Nico Hischier then sends the puck across ice to Dawson Mercer, who is there parked right at the side of the net. But he kind of loses his edge and unable to get the pass to slam it home over there. Unfortunately, did not pick up that goal. The Coyotes had one off the pipe on a power play, but the Devils' special teams, especially the penalty kill, has been solid since the All-Star break. They have been unreal. And they were able to kill that off, and then it didn't take long. 9:09 into the first. It is Timo time in New Jersey. His third shift as a Devil brings us his first goal as a Devil, his 32nd of the year. And this whole play was actually kept alive by Timo Meier when he chips the puck along the boards behind the net to Jack Hughes. And it's Jack Hughes behind the net, making a pass out to the front to a streaking Dougie Hamilton, who's coming forward. Dougie takes a shot there. It is saved by the Yotes goaltender Ingram, but Timo Time is right there to gather up the rebound, and he slides the backhand through the 5-hole for the first goal of the game, his 32nd of the year, coming from Dougie Hamilton, his 42nd assist, and Jack Hughes, his 40th assist at 9:09 of the first period. Timo Time has arrived in New Jersey. Now, you probably also saw that line was on the ice for a couple of goals against in this game as well. So, like we said, give it a little time. These are 3 guys that got to mesh. Timo also playing on the left wing, usually playing on the right wing with Jesper Bratt there. And you can see they were still feeling things out. There were a couple times I saw like Jack and Timo get too close to each other, almost like bump each other on the ice. But it's going to work out. And also, don't forget, Timo hasn't played in 3 weeks because he's been hurt. So just give him a little bit of a shot here. Sometimes it takes a bit when players change teams for everything to really fall into place. I think it will come before this season is over because he is a quality player, power forward. And you saw some great numbers from Bryce Salvador in the intermission today about the amount of hits and goals that he has combined. I think the only person that's beating him in the hits department is Ovi. Right? No. I think it's Lawson Krause, actually. I think maybe Ovi has more hits as well. But Krause has like the most out of all the guys who have 20-plus goals. He's got like 140 some. It's ridiculous. But Timo is up there. So when you're thinking Timo Meier, you may only be, thinking about all that scoring and all that potential there, but he is going to bring some beef. And I'm sure you saw today, he is a big boy out there. And when Lazar gets his visa worked out, you're going to have even more beef on this team as well. So good stuff to start the game. 9:09 of the first. Timo gets the Devils on the board. However, a minute and 10 seconds later, and also, that's right. Right after that, Nico Hischier was robbed. Ingram robbed him with a great glove save. But then Arizona answers. Lawson Krause kept this play going, puts the puck towards the center, and there was kind of like a little ping pong thing, but McBain waits a little bit and feeds Machelli for his 5th of the year from McBain and Soderstrom at 10:19 of the first. Tied it up 1-1. And you're looking at this first period, and we know against Colorado and Vegas, we've seen the Devils come out there in that first period and really have a jump in their step. Today wasn't as much. Today was like your usual Devils first period, I felt like, where they were a little bit slow. I mean, by the end of the period, they ended up having the lead here, but I do feel like they were still, this was more of a typical Devils first period where they weren't firing on all the cylinders just yet. Thomas Tatar did have a beautiful spin-a-rooney pass. Can you dig it, sucker, to Damon Severson, but he was unable to put it home. Ingram again coming up big. The BMW had a nice 3-on-1 opportunity where Miles Wood was waiting and delaying, and then he tries to get a pass right across at the last minute to, I believe, Bastian in the corner, but it could not connect. And then at 18-18 of the first period, the man who found himself in the lineup today instead of Igor Sharon, got my Aussie shirt on, instead of Igor Sharon Govich, Jesper Boquist gets his 6th goal of the season. It's been a long time coming from this kid, but maybe he is finally really starting to figure it out here in these late stages of the season. But Damon Severson passed it over to Haula, and this was a great play by both Severson and Haula there, because Haula kind of took the place of being at the point, and then Severson rotated himself down to the front of the net. So you got Severson there with the puck at the point, little drop back pass, to Haula, who then works his way to the front. Severson then starts charging towards the net. Haula puts a long range shot on goal. I don't know if it actually got through, but either way, Severson gets a hold of the puck, and he makes a beautiful backhand pass right across to Jesper Boquist, who's at the side of the net to slam it home right there. With the snapper, 18-18 of the first, 2-1 Devils. Boquist his 6th from Damon Severson, his 16th assist on the season, and Eric Haula his 23rd. So we move into the second period there. And by the way, lots of Devils fans in Arizona. If you couldn't hear the Let's Go Devils chants on the TV, I heard them loud and clear from my television over here in Los Angeles. I am sure you heard the same thing at your TVs in New Jersey or wherever across the country or world you're listening to us from. We got a lot of fans over there in Switzerland. I heard the whole nation of Switzerland is all in on the Devils right now with 4 Swiss players. So, what's up, Samuel?
And also, Germany and Switzerland, with the Let's Go Devils podcast, is surging, believe it or not. Just want to surging in downloads.
Surging.
Yeah.
Love it.
Actually, Germany actually overtook Canada in our downloads.
Okay. All right. Look at that. Learning something new every day over here. Well, the Let's Go Devils chant song, and the Devils had a much stronger second period as well. Another golden opportunity for Dawson Mercer, all alone in front. Nigo passed it to him right there in the center, but Ingram just stoned it all night long. Ingram was just stoning him basically, and Mercer was unable to get that shot home. Devils go on the power play, and yes, the first unit, which did feature Timo Meier. And again, they're still kind of feeling each other out. I feel like, I think that was the first time we saw Nico and Timo together, the old Swiss connection there on the ice. But they're still figuring themselves out. Give it a little bit of time. Like I said, with Timo, just getting himself acquainted, get himself back into the groove of things again. He hasn't played in 3 weeks. Don't forget about that. But it was PP Unit 2 that came through on the power play for this one. Mercer had a nice behind-the-back kind of drop pass, like that, to Damon Severson, who was able to put the shot on the net. And we really got to credit both Dawson Mercer, who after he completed that pass, he charged the net, but also Palat was already parked in front of the net, screening Ingram right here. And that was the real catalyst for this goal right here, was Palat and the screen that he provided for Severson to put it home. I think it was like a wrist shot there from far. PPG power play goal at 4:44 of the second period. Severson gets his 5th. Mercer gets his 24th assist. And Eric Halla, once again, gets an assist. That's his 24th of the season. So we did talk about some of that secondary scoring. We know the issues Halla has had throughout the year with actually putting the puck in the net, but he does have some real decent assist numbers. We all know about his defensive side of his game and his face-off percentage as well. So at least we're seeing those assist numbers go up, and the points are still putting on the board there for Eric Halla. After that, we had a little bit of an issue. Fourth line versus fourth line. Devils end up getting pinned in. Miles Wood, man, he made a great shot block at the point, but the Coyotes were able to keep the puck in the zone, and they get the shot towards the net. It kind of bounces around and goes right to Zach Kassian there, who puts it home for his 2nd of the season at 16:23 of the second period. Tough one there on Vanacek. Kind of a little ping pong action there with the puck. A lot of these goals I think were tough on Vanacek. I don't know how many you want to really put on his shoulders, but yeah. Coyotes keeping it close. Like we said, they're a tough team at home. They got a crappy record. We know they just traded half their team, but there's a lot of young kids on there fighting for the dream to play in the NHL. You know, I think now the Coyotes are like far and away the youngest team in the league going out there on the ice. They only have like 1 or 2 guys over the age of 30. I know the Devils are very similar as well. But the Yotes are very, very young after this trade deadline, and Kassian there gets his 2nd to keep it close, 3-2 in the second period. Now, Timo Meier had a great opportunity right after that with a little stick handling action, and then whoop, 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 through the legs and steps right around the old defenseman. Got a great pass from Jack to set him up on that and to spring him, but Ingram again comes up big. Not Aiden Hill big like in Vegas, but Ingram had himself a strong game as well for the Coyotes. And then at 19:19 of the second period, a late goal. Love seeing these. We've always talked about it, the momentum it gives to the Devils and how much it sucks away from the opponent. And it's the man who was in the lineup once again instead of Igor Sharangovich, Jesper Boquist, his 2nd of the day. And this one was, again, Palat really making it happen, winning some puck battles on the board, kind of like going behind the net. She's shielding away, he's protecting the puck, and he is able to slide the pass forward to a streaking Jesper Boquist who's coming in, and boom, Boquist goes high, glove save. Nasty, nasty shot over there. He gets his 2nd of the game, his 7th of the season, and Palat, that's his 9th assist on the season. So getting that secondary scoring going, we were waiting for Igor Sharangovich to not be as streaky. Maybe Boquist is the person who will start kicking it into gear. It's been a long time coming. We know he's got the speed. We know he's got the defensive side of his game. But we haven't seen too much of the offensive side. We've seen him hit the post a number of times off the crossbar. But now, maybe start getting a little bit more consistent. And that third line with the veteran leadership of Halla and Palat may pay dividends there for, oh boy, what's going on here? I don't know what's happening. My FaceTime there just popped up on my laptop. I don't know what's happening, but either way, we're back. We're back, everybody. Sorry about that. Boquist gets his 7th there at 19:19. Put the Devils up 4-2 heading into the third. And now, $1.29 into it. Schmaltz gets his 19th. Coyotes get an early goal, and you're like, okay, 4-3. Oh, boy. Do we want to go into overtime here? That's what I started immediately thinking. I'm like, is this going to be another OT game? Is that what's happening over here against the Coyotes? Again, tough team to play against, especially at home. 4-3 through the majority of the third period. Mercer again had another big save. Nico Hischier picks the puck in the neutral zone, and he leads Dawson Mercer, who basically he takes the pass like onto his backhand, moves it to his forehand, and now he's on his opposite wing there, but he still winds up for the big blast slap shot that Ingram stopped. And I have it here. That was his fourth great opportunity of the night. So Dawson Mercer, he didn't get the goal, but man, he was still creating those opportunities all around. And point streak continues because he got the assist on the Severson goal. So the point streak continues. The heater continues for Dawson Mercer and the New Jersey Devils. Vanacek made a huge shoulder save off of Keller. There was a big blast from him coming off the rush. It was sort of an odd man rush, but not really. But Vanacek came up huge there with a big shoulder shrug save. Well, that's kind of that's a little bit of a tongue twister there. Shoulder shrug save. Try doing that one 10 times fast. Jack Hughes did have an opportunity. Oh, he whiffed. He missed the puck. He was alone in the high slot. And then it happened. Something we've seen a number of times this year. We know of the offensive prowess of one Dougie Hamilton, but we also know Dougie giveth and Dougie taketh away. And this time he had a bad turnover in the defensive zone. It basically set up Lawson Krause for a point-blank shot that, Vitek Vanacek coming up huge with that timely save there. But the puck ends up bouncing right to, who is it? I can't remember who it was on the Coyotes. And then they feed McBain on the opposite side. So the puck, Krause shoots it, puck bounces to the right. Coyotes get the rebound. They pass it back to McBain. And McBain literally, like soccer style, takes the pass, on the skate. He receives it on the skate and then just kicks it over to his stick. It was a pretty slick play, I'm not going to lie. Kicks it over his stick and boop! You see Vitek Vanacek trying to do the Superman dive across to get there, but he's a little too late, and he is unable to stop that shot at 18 flat of the third period. UGH. Ugh. The Coyotes tie it up at 4, and yep, we're going to be heading into overtime, but it didn't take long. The captain said, enough of this. We're not doing this ridiculous shootout business anymore. We just had this whole thing with Adin Hill in Las Vegas. We're not letting this Ingram guy get another one with the goaltending, having this stellar day against the Devils. We've heard that so many times this season. The captain says, no, thank you. And 23 seconds into it, Nico wins a faceoff in the defensive zone. Okay, him and Hall are out there. Hall gets kicked out. Nico comes in. He wins the faceoff. The puck goes back to Dougie. And like we said, sometime Dougie giveth, sometime Dougie taketh away. This time he giveth because he got the puck and he protected it against some pressure there. Nico and Hall up, start just shooting forward. And Dougie is able to get that puck forward to Nico Hischier, which creates a 2-on-1 break. You got Hall over here. You got Nico with the puck coming up. And Nico is waiting. And then he decides just to shoot it as he sees the defenseman kind of like veering over a little bit more. He waits and he just rips a freaking laser beam of a wrist shot past Ingram, far side for the OTGWG game-winning goal, number 27 at 23 seconds of the OT. Your captain, Nico Hischier, comes through, assist going to Dougie Hamilton, his 43rd of the season. Dougie giveth, Dougie taketh. And, sometime Dougie go and redeemeth afterwards, which is a nice thing. So the Devils get the OT victory against a tough Coyotes team. Your 3 stars of the game, Nico Hischier gets your first, Jesper Boquist gets your second, and Jack McBain, who had an assist on one of the other Coyotes goals, gets your third. Shots on goal for the Devils, 12, 15, 12, 1 in OT for a Slayer, Raining Blood, Raining Pucks tribute to the Devils. It's raining pucks from the Devils on the ice. 40 shots on goal. You know, anything over 35, it's raining pucks. So 40 shots from the Devils. The Coyotes, 15. Like we said, that first period, your typical Devils first period where they're a little slow. 15 shots in the first, 5-8-1 for a total of 29 in the game. Face-off percentage. Actually, the Coyotes had a better percentage. That's not been the case very often for the Devils. You don't see them losing in the faceoff circle that often. 53% to 47%. Devs were 1 for 1 on the power play, so the special teams continues because the Coyotes were 0 for 2 on their power play. Hits, well, not a insane number, but still like seeing it. It's plus 20 hits, which hasn't happened very many times this season. Add a little Timo, add a little Lazar maybe in a week. You're going to see this consistently up there in the 20s. 22 hits for the Devils, 33 for the Coyotes, 15 blocks for the Devs, 20 blocks for the Coyotes. So once again, we all know about the shot totals that the Devils come with each and every game. That's about 60 there, right? Because, 40 shots, 20 blocks. There you go. 11 giveaways. Don't like seeing that by the Devs. 10 takeaways, though, and a couple there by the captain himself, Nico Hischier, which sprung some really good opportunities. The Devils now, oh wait, I just went to the wrong page. I got to go back. The Devils are now sitting at 88 points on the season, 41 wins. Carolina's got 1 game in hand. They smoked the Tampa Bay Lightning today. What was it? I think they put up a 6-pack, right? It was 6-0 or something like that. That they crushed the Tampa Bay Lightning. But Carolina's got 90. The Devils are behind it by 2 points. 1 game in hand for the Canes. And the Devils have 1 game in hand on the Rangers. The Rangers don't play for a little while, so this is a chance for the Devils to really put some serious separation between them and the Rags. They can go up by 11 points if possible. Right? They got 88, 79. There you go. They get another win against Toronto back at home, and Devils have an 11-point. That's right, Tuesday night. The Rangers, I don't think, play again until Thursday because they had a couple there jammed together. So Devils have a chance to really put some serious distance between them and the third-place team and keep themselves right there in position to steal the Metro at some point if they just keep playing this way. And now with Timo Meier on board, you're going to see this team really, really start to put the puck in the net even more than they have. And don't forget, Jack Hughes has only scored 1 goal since he came back from injury. And I know a lot of people are talking about maybe Jack is injured. He's putting up points. He's got plenty of assists, but he's only put the puck in the net once. That's not going to stay the same way for the rest of this season. You know Jack Hughes is going to get back on the heater. And it's going to be something with him, Timo, and Jesper Bratt once they get that chemistry down and that power play 1 unit. Woo, baby. That's going to be something. And also, it's going to open up power play 2. It's going to open up power play 2 if they ever get on the ice. It's going to open up power play 2 for a lot more opportunities too. You got Dawson Mercer over there. You got Palat over there. You can keep Jack and Dougie out to work the points. You can have some really, really good stuff there going around. So excellent work here by the Devils, pulling off a tough victory out there in Arizona, wrapping up the road trip. I think this is their last one out west. So they have crushed the Pacific Division. We all know, or the Western Conference. I'm sorry. We all know about they took down the Pack as well, but they have just been a monster against the West, and we all know it's the Beastern Conference over here in the East with the Bruins, the Canes, the Devils, and the Maple Leafs. You got the 4 best teams in the league right there, and then I think the the Knights, I got to look at the standings. Are the Knights there in the 5th position? I believe. What do the Knights got there? The Knights got 82 points. Yeah, I believe they are 5th in the league. Yes. So your top 4 teams are all in the Eastern Conference. And if you look at the stats, the Eastern Conference has dominated the West this year all around, not just the Devils, but all the teams have really dominated the West over there. So great game by the Devils to pull it off. Didn't fall into the trap. Didn't, quote unquote, half-ass it. End of the road trip. Everyone's tired. They're on different time zones, everything like that. They didn't do anything. They didn't get down for playing in the old Mullett. I think it's kind of a cool experience, probably, going in there and playing in such a small arena. One game. I wouldn't want to play every game there, but I'm sure it's probably a cool experience for the teams. Probably bring back some memories to either their minor league days or their college days or something like that, or the juniors days. I'm sure they wouldn't mind it for one game. I don't think you want to play all your home games there at the old Mullett, but one game, hey, not so bad. And we'll see. Maybe the Devils, maybe they'll finally, they'll get a little respect. Oh, we're talking about Rodney Dangerfield the other day, huh? Respect. Well, when the Devils were a kid, their parents moved all the time, but somehow or another, they always found them. When the Devils were born, the doctor gave them a whack. And I heard the nurses got a couple shots in there as well. You're not going to laugh at any of the Rodney Dangerfield jokes here? When the Devils were born, my mother had morning sickness after I was born. The other night, a mugger came up to me and stood me up. He looked at me and said, "Oh, you better put this mask on." The Devils were so poor when they were growing up, even the rainbows in the neighborhood came in black and white. No, Samwoo? Not gonna get anything. Where's the meat? Not gonna get anything out of Samwoo over here? The Devils, their family were big drinkers when they were growing up. When they were a kid, they went missing, and they put their picture on the bottle of scotch. The Devils, when they were a kid, parents got divorced and there was a custody battle. No one showed up in court.
All Woo-Buck deductions across the board.
Well, can we do at least the famous Rodney Dangerfield hockey joke? Oh, hey, I went to a fight the other night and a hockey game broke out.
I've heard of that one.
Okay, all right.
Reading some of the comments.
I went to my doctor. Devils went to the doctor the other day. He said, "I broke my arm in 2 places." He said, "Keep out of those places."
How much research did you do yesterday?
I got it.
The
Devils.
Hold on a sec.
I got the feed's breaking up? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No. That's yours. Your feed's breaking up.
The Devils and their wife. The Devils and their wife, they were happy for 20 years. And then they met.
These are dumb jokes.
These are like some of Rodney Dangerfield's best. Oh, my wife has to be the worst cook. In my house, we pray after we eat. My wife's not too smart. I told her all our kids are spoiled. She said all kids smell that way. My wife had her driver's test the other day. She got an 8 out of 10. The other 2 guys jumped clear. I remember the time I got kidnapped when I was a kid, and they sent a piece of my finger to my father. He said he wanted more proof. I got about 40 more of them here, Samu, if you want me to go through them. Oh, I went to go buy a used car the other day, and I found my wife's dress in the back seat. The Devils get no respect, just like Rodney Dangerfield. Well, you know what? They're going to be stamping some respect on the rest of the league. Third best, 88 points, 2 behind the Hurricanes. Going for that Metro Division championship. We'll see what happens. Let's hear what you think about it. Anyone got some better Rodney Dangerfield jokes? Please hit me up.
They're throwing tomatoes at you right now.
Oh, they're throwing tomatoes at me? Okay. These are all Rodney's jokes. These are like some of his best ones. On Halloween, the parents send their kids out looking like me. My psychiatrist told me I was crazy, and I said I want a second opinion. He said, okay, you're ugly too.
Are you reading this off a teleprompter?
No, I have a thing here. I researched Rodney Dangerfield quotes. When I was born, the doctor came out of the waiting room and he said to my father, I'm very sorry. We did everything he could, but he pulled through. Once on my birthday, my old man gave me a bat. The first day I played with it, it flew away. I don't have the Rodney Dangerfield bug-eyed expression to go along with it, so I'll stop with the Rodney jokes, but the Devils deserve some damn respect. And I know Sam Wu respects them. So, Sam and everyone on YouTube up. Yeah, Sam never laughs at anything, Daryl. I'm telling you. I don't know. How many... Now they're known as dad jokes. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But, yeah. Sam doesn't know any of my references. We discovered yesterday, or 2 days ago, he's never seen Pulp Fiction in his life. So, you know.
Neither did
there's
Mrs.
that.
Wu. Neither did
Mrs. Wu's never seen?
No.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. I want to see you guys do the Vincent Vega Mia Wallace dance at Jack Rabbit Slim's. And if you could tell me who plays the waiter at Jack Rabbit Slim's, I'll give you 20 Woo bucks. Okay? He's dressed like Buddy Holly, but he's a very famous actor.
Gary Busey?
No.
Wow.
Another crazy guy, another crazy looking guy, yeah. But not Gary Busey. No, not Pee Wee Herman, JP. Anyone know that? I'll give it. Anyone know that on YouTube? Who plays the waiter at Jack Rabbit Slim's in Pulp Fiction? Don't Google it. No, not Nick Nolte. Not Nick Nolte, Bachagaloop. I'll give you a hint. Pink. There you go, Art Heaton and Andy A. That's right, Steve Buscemi. Very nicely done. And Ariel getting in there. Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs. Why do I gotta be pink? Because if I don't assign the colors, everyone wants to be Mr. Black, and I can't have that. Sam Wu. Should I talk Devils? Sam Wu's texting me, should I talk Devils? Yes, you should talk Devils.
I don't know where this is going, Scotty. It's like you threw me a curveball. You threw me a ghost forkball.
A ghost forkball? I threw the old spitball at you over there. Yeah. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm like
doing Rodney Dangerfield jokes. I'm doing oh wait, my father carries around a picture of the kid who came with his wallet. My mother had morning sickness after I was born. I love that one. Sam Wu, tell us about this game and the insights you saw from it on this Devils victory, OT victory And, of course, like I said, wrapping up a road trip, dude.
Well, that's the key word. Road trip. Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
They did extremely well, and their record, and they're getting very close to the NHL record, most wins on the road. I think somebody put in the YouTube live 24-4-4 or 23-4-4. It was Robert, and it has continued from really after they lost to the Flyers on the season opener. They've been really just tearing up on the road. Arizona, you would have had to expect them to be tough in their own building for whatever reason. They're tough. They've beaten some pretty good teams this year, even though Arizona overall is a team that, not that strong. Jesper Boquist is making a case to be a regular on that third line. I thought Palat played very well tonight, and you can roll. Look, I think it's 1A, 1B, and 1C when you're talking about lines 1, 2, and 3 that you can just roll. And I think that was the difference tonight. Dawson Mercer didn't score a goal, but his streak still continues. Nico Hischier. Who else would score the game-winning goal? Now, Meyer didn't go out in overtime, right? I don't think he even played a shift in overtime.
I don't think he got a shift in overtime.
I don't think they would throw him in that situation just yet. But
no, because it was Nico and Holla, and then it was McLeod and Hughes to start it. And then Holla was out there with Nico. That's what I thought. I thought Timo and Nico were going to get together there in OT. But they had Holla out there, who had a strong game himself.
Yeah, and I mentioned this on the Woo Report this morning, that third line is going to be the key for the Devils down the stretch in the playoffs. Now, defensively, some of their breakdowns tonight, again, I'll go back to when I was hooting and hollering about the defense. They didn't upgrade on defense. They're probably their upgrade is going to be Luke Hughes, but really that's a crapshoot what Luke Hughes can do. Also from the college game into the NHL. So I'm not.
And when is he actually going to show up as well? I mean, Michigan is a good team. I think Captain Bill Spaulding mentioned it tonight that they're a Frozen Four candidate. So if they're going all the way, if they end up going to like the Frozen Four or the finals or something like that, Luke is going to show up in like the last week of the regular season, basically.
Yeah.
Potential.
And that's the Devils' Achilles heel right now, is the defense. Now, I did think that Severson played a heck of a game tonight.
He made a really smart play there in the third. I forgot to mention it. Did you see the one where he kind of dove to poke the puck and it ended up getting underneath him?
Yep.
And he just kind of pancaked himself out there and didn't let the Coyotes, kind of push the puck out, because that would have been an odd man, an odd man situation there for the Coyotes. I thought that was a really, really smart play on his part. And I've liked the way Big Ball. And we got a couple set of brows now, not only Ball, but Timo, Nico. We got the brow connection as well going on. So, but I like the way Kevin Ball played again tonight. Again, to me, it's just, man, Dougie just makes so many like turnovers.
He's a liability. I mean, it's a double-edged sword with Dougie Hamilton. He could be such a liability, but he could be, so good on the other end of the ice offensively that you take the good with the bad. But Kevin Ball is using his body now. I mean, you see him. What's the matter?
Robert Usi. Michael's dying wish was to have me sit on his lap. He was in the electric chair. Oh. Sorry, just another Rodney joke.
Let's see here. Yeah, but
And
so
JP's
Paul,
right. JP, it with the Luke Hughes situation, it worked with McCarr, but that's a lot to expect of Luke Hughes. So, we'll see where it ends up. But I mean, that seems to be the plan. That whenever the Michigan season is done, Luke is coming to the Devils. We'll see how much he actually plays, but he's definitely going to be there.
Yeah. Again, I think when Tom Fitzgerald, at the trade deadline, he's going to go with this defense. So the Devils better start scoring more goals at this point, and rely on heavily on their goaltending. I mean, they're not a top tier, defensive team.
No,
but they can score goals, and scoring goals was never a problem. I just wish they'd do something with their defense, but maybe it's not personnel-wise. Maybe they got the right players. It's just maybe it's coaching at this point. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure either, yeah. I mean, but I agree with Daryl and JP. That ball looks a lot better.
Well, he's using his body. He stretched out to block a shot. I mean, he practically took up the entire slot area. From the end of
I think he's finally figured out his size and the advantage that it can have there for him. Bocce Galoop, you're correct. Jesper Boquist is playing for his NHL existence, I believe, right now.
You got to think.
How long has he been a prospect in our system? Like 5 years now, Jesper Boquist, I feel like.
It seems like
he's got to put it together. Yeah, he's got to put it together.
But he has.
It's been a long, long time. It seems to last couple games, but we got to see that consistency. We saw it with Zaka. We're seeing it with Sharon Govich. Boquist is kind of the same. There's just that inconsistency there. We know they can play the defensive side, but we also need them to put the puck in the net.
Is there an issue with my mic? Is the Art Heaton thing?
I heard it was kind of clipping a little bit, but
he says turn it up or mic volume up. Is it clipping?
Well, push yourself up there a little bit, kid. Get in the show. Huh? Maybe it's the interweb issues we seem to be dealing with at the moment.
I don't know. I thought it was loud. I don't know.
No, you're good. You sound good to me.
Yes, that's how we do our tech checks, is listening to our audience. Our audience of the YouTube live. Yeah, live.
We do our tech checks live.
Or he's saying lower level Sam. Oh, no. Lower level? Should I go lower? Hold on.
Daryl, I hope Holtz isn't as long a prospect as Boquist is either. We need him to... Wait, didn't he get injured when he went back down to Utica? I haven't looked at the comments recently. I have to see where he is, but I think it was the same thing. He needs to play. He was just riding the pine for so long and only practicing. He needs to get in there and get reps in those game situations. And whatever it is with him and his skating, he's got to work on that in the offseason, big time. So the coaches actually trust him in all the situations. Whatever they're seeing that they don't like, he needs to work on it big time. That's got to be a number one thing, is that skating. We already know he's got the natural shot and everything like that. He's got to work on that skating and not being a huge liability on the defensive side. Whether that's with Utica, whether that's with the Devils, I don't know. But the way this team is constructed, he's going to have to fight for a spot.
Well, everybody's got to fight for a spot. The team's loaded right now.
Yeah.
The team is absolutely loaded. And there's more coming from the pipeline.
I mean, Graham Clark right now, who I believe just got sent back down with right? I think he got sent back down. I mean, he's leading the Comets in points this year. He's had a breakthrough season. So there's a number of those guys that it's not just going to be like, all right, Alex, here you go. He's really going to have to earn it. And whatever the coaches have seen in his time up, I mean, he did not get any consistent play. It was like maybe 1 or 2 games in a row, and then he was back out of the lineup. He would do something that the coaches really didn't like, and they would yank him. He needs to figure that out. Because that shot he's got is a monster. And we don't want him turning into another Zacha. You know, I don't want to say Sharon Govich yet, but that's been his MO so far, is just the inconsistency. Super streaky. Get like 5 goals in 3 games and then nothing for like the next 13 or 14. You know, that's not winning hockey. Maybe Zacha could get away with it now because he's playing with Pasternak and everyone else up in Boston. But, you know, maybe now the Devils got Timo and Jack and Nico and Jesper. Which, by the way, I haven't heard anything. I don't think there's been an update on the contract negotiations for Jesper Bratt, but we do know that there's offers out there that Fitzy and the agent are talking, so that's always good news. We don't know where everything stands, but, you know, and then also on the defensive side, you know, you do have those 2 big question marks with Severson and Graves. Are you going to bring both of them back? Are you not going to bring either of them back? Are you going to try and upgrade maybe your defense? Are you treating Severson as just like he was a rental player at this point? I mean, obviously the trade deadline passed, so. Are you treating both of them as if they were just like rentals right now? Because you know you got Marino locked up, you got Siegenthaler locked up, you got Dougie locked up. Ball's not going anywhere. Luke is coming. Nemec is coming. We heard a lot about Riley Walsh, but he seems to be at that AHL level. Hasn't really broken in to get that cup of coffee with the NHL yet. That defense is going to be a big question mark. And as Devils fans know, number 27 right over my shoulder over here, we know that defense can win you some Stanley Cups. So, and we talked about this last show as well. The Devils can put up a touchdown, but they can't give up 8 or 9 goals each night either with all these odd man rushes. Aaron Nunez, I completely think it's because Zacha is up in Boston. I think there was a lot of pressure on him in New Jersey as a number 1 pick. Not a number 1 pick, a first-round pick in a super deep draft.
Well, Jim Montgomery is a great coach. I mean, he's a proven coach.
And they also, there's so many veterans up there as well.
All the pressure was off of Zacha. I mean, we were expecting Zacha to be a first-line center, and he couldn't even be a third-line winger at times.
Yeah.
So inconsistent, and it took all the pressure off when Zacha went up to Boston. Zacha's a decent player, just
he's an NHL,
And the Devils,
it just didn't work out.
Devils got what they wanted out of Haula. I mean, Haula is supposed to take faceoffs. Haula is supposed to be that third-line center guy, you know, and the veteran leader. And I thought it was a good trade, you know. I think both teams are happy with it. Yeah.
Right now.
I mean,
the Devils are also not tied to Zacha for another, you know, what did he get, 4 years or 5 years from Boston?
Yeah, something like that.
You know, that was another part of it. If you kept Zacha, you're going to have to re-sign him for that, you know. And Haula is this year, and that's it. We'll see what happens. So the Devils are kind of off the hook there. And I think if you had to ask someone, who would you rather spend the money on, a Dawson Mercer or a Pavel Zacha, I think they're going to say Dawson Mercer. So, there's a lot to that equation. And I don't have any ill will against Pavel. It just, like we said, I think you're right. I think it was just way too much pressure. I honestly think, people thought he was going to be, just because of the check and everything, like he was going to be the next Patrick Elias. And that's a pretty hard standard to live up there. Another number, oh wait, my other shoulder, over my shoulder right here, hanging from the rafters. I don't think it just wasn't meant to be. But he's got a lot of that veteran leadership that I think Pavel Zacha probably needed, instead of the same age leadership that we have here on the Devils right now. We know we're not like just chock-piled full of veterans, and the Boston Bruins are. And there's a lot of no-nonsense guys up there. I mean, hell's bells, Zacha was older than, Nico and Jack and everyone. He was almost a veteran himself on the team. So going up there to Boston with Bergeron and Marchand and Pasta and everyone else on that team, they're not messing around. I think that's what he needed. I really think that's what he needed, and good for him. Like I said, there's a lot of pressure being that was such a deep draft that year, and that first-round pick, and everyone just had so high expectations,
We picked Zacha over Meyer.
Yeah. So we did a little flippy-flop. No problem. We got the right one now. So there you go. See how that worked out? And it makes for beautiful headlines with old Prevalone and Tortorella down there in Philly. Provolone. I just like calling him Prevalone because Philly likes provolone cheese.
Okay,
Yeah.
You have me confused there. I'm like, that's not. How
Our Nunez, 4.75 through 26-27. Not worth that for New Jersey. Agreed. So yeah, I think it was the right move for us to pass on Pavel Zacha, and we did him well by getting him to a pretty damn diesel team there. So I think it worked out for both sides, and that's that.
Yeah, well, see a lot of new faces in the YouTube live. If you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils, that'd be great. Get the notifications. Also, I see people on the Facebook Live as well chiming in. I hate it when my phone stalls. I was going to read some comments. I'll get to that later.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard. That's right, Max. Who was that? Oh, that was Chichi Rodriguez that said that, I think, right? Happy Gilmore. I know you've seen Happy Gilmore, right, Sam Wu?
I've seen it.
Okay, there we go. At least we got that one under our belt. Timo went ninth. That's right. Zacha was six. That was the sixth pick. We had Zacha. Exactly, Paul. Playing with Pasta, he's gonna put up those points. I mean, Pasta's a monster. He just resigned as well. Yeah. So I think it worked out for both sides. Holla obviously had a insanely slow start, but he's finally starting, to be more consistent. We know the goals aren't there, but the points, the assists, and everything like that, the totals are starting to rack up. So, what's he got, 24 or 25? I can't remember what it was today. I think he had 2 assists today, right? Wah, wah, wah. Holla got his 23rd on the first Boquist. He got his 24th on the Severson assist. How many goals does he have? Like 4 or 5? He's got 5 goals. So he's got 29 points. And, oh, by the way, he's a plus 13 on the year. So he'll probably end up maybe around 35 points this season. We can hope for 40, but that would be a pretty big run. But the way these 3 lines are now constructed and the way they're playing, it's not out of the possibility with 20 games left. It's really not. So we will see what happens, Sam Wu. Devils going to regroup, going to go back home for Tuesday night. They get the restocked Leafs coming into town, so that'll be another big challenge for this team. Lots of playoff contenders.
There's a lot of big tests in the next couple of weeks. I want to go over a couple of these games, Scotty.
Carolina, by the way, is a week from tonight. Next Sunday. Right? I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, we got another preemption. We got preemptions in the next 3 for the Sunday.
Yeah.
For the Sunday edition.
We got Toronto on Tuesday, at the Caps Thursday, at Montreal on Saturday, and then Carolina back to a back-to-back with an away home right there. I know Montreal's not that far, but still coming in against Carolina, and then 2 against Tampa Bay. Woof.
You play Tampa Bay 3 times in less than a week.
In 4 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Tuesday, Tampa Bay Thursday, Florida Sunday, Tampa Bay, Florida Saturday, and then Tampa Bay Sunday. Another back-to-back.
Let's see how they do. Treat it like a playoff series.
Yeah.
See how they react.
Devils have a very...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it kind of reminded me during the shortened season, the COVID season, where you play. Remember Ranger Hate Week, where you played the Rangers like 4 times in a row.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, Devils have a very tough schedule here in this last month and a half. Even in April, they get the one with Chicago, and one with Columbus, but Boston, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Winnipeg. You don't know where Buffalo and the Senators are going to be if they're still pushing for a playoff spot. They are. They're going to be coming with everything they got. So we'll see what happens there. But it's going to be a tough run, but I think it's a great test for this New Jersey Devils. For the league to wake up and start giving them the damn respect that they deserve. Deserve. Did I say reserve? Deserve. That's what I meant to say. Thinking about Rodney. So I put the R there on the front. Sorry. But let's get to it, Sam Wu. How about we do some you versus Wu right here on Devils After Dark. Exclusively on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. We're doing all season long our score predictions. Brought to you by, with Dave Singer and his Victory Bucks. Good old Dave Singer over here. The Leafs did get smacked around by the Canucks. We'll see what happens, man. Toronto's Toronto. They choke every year, but we'll see what happens with them. Either way, let's do some score predictions. Now, we know the smartest man in the world, Vinny Parisi, who called out ESPN the other day and got retweeted by the voice of the New York baseball Metropolitans, Howie Rose. Vinny Parisi was off, and we had the fabulous Shorts guy, the crowd-surfing, riot-inducing Shorts guy, sitting in on Game Day Live. Sam Wu, what was his score prediction for the day?
3-0 Devils.
3-0 Devils. Okay, so and Art Heaton had 3-0 Devils as well. Okay, so that's an L there. Max, you get the L. 7-1. Okay, sorry.
We have some OTLs.
Okay.
Live.
Matthias, I must have missed some.
Matthias said 5-0. Ted said 5-2.
Okay.
Devils, and Selected Boy said 5-1.
Very nice. Excellent.
So
How about you, Sam Wu?
I said 2-0 Devils.
2-0 Devils? Okay. Daryl had 3-2. JP had 6-1. Oh, Selecta, there we go. Had the 5-1. Okay. Well, Selecta, you get the overtime loss there. You get the point for getting the Devils score correct. So not bad. No 2 points tonight for anyone. No W's, but we got a lot of 1-pointers over here. Allen had 4-1. Close. To myself, I said 4-2 because I was looking at the over-under, and the over-under was 6.5. So I said, I didn't think the Coyotes would get over 2 goals. I thought Vanacek would shut them down. So I had 4-2 in my head. So I was off too.
I mean, I was expecting the Devils' defense to play a little bit better.
Yeah.
Vanacek played okay, but, I would expect a better team effort against the Coyotes. At least they got the victory.
They definitely did. 2 points for your New Jersey Hockey Devils, sitting at 88 for the season. 2 point out of the Metro lead. Raise your hand if you predicted this at the beginning of the year. And nobody should be raising their hand because no one had this happening in their right mind. So the boys are they're playing past all expectations here. And this is not a fluke. They are the real deal. And every Devils fan should be really excited about now having Timo, getting Lazar, bringing in some beef, and what this team could do come playoff time, man. It's going to be really, really exciting. And I can't wait to come back on Tuesday so we can do this all over again after hopefully another Devils victory on the home ice. So, we'll be up at the big boards at American Whiskey on Tuesday night. If you're going down to the show, if you're going down to the game, before you get there, stop at American Whiskey, say hi to Peyton, say hi to Alejandra, to Ariel, to Frank the Tank, the whole crew. Say hello. And then get a drink, and you can watch Vinny Parisi on the big screen for Game Day Live with the king of the football calls right here, Sam Wu. And, of course, Devils win, Devils lose. Either way, they're still pouring adult beverages at American Whiskey afterwards. And yours truly will be then up on the big screen doing a little Devils After Dark, hopefully talking about a Devils W. So get down over there at American Whiskey if you're going to the game against the Leafs this Tuesday night. Prudential Center, The Rock, American Whiskey right across the street. You cannot miss it. Can't miss it. You're coming from the train, you got to walk by American Whiskey to get into the Prudential Center. You see the big sign right there in Championship Plaza. So go in and say hello. Tell them the Let's Go Devils podcast or Devils After Dark or Game Day Live sent you.
Actually, it's going to be Vinny and Shorts Guy. Shorts Guy is going to be doing it remotely on the big TV Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Little Fireboy will be there. I will be traveling down for Devils After Dark. I will be at American Whiskey on Tuesday, Devils After Dark, with Scotty beaming him in.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, we're definitely going to be there Sunday for that Carolina game.
Oh, we have to, yeah.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, that's
going to be a huge game. Huge game. Big implications right there, Sam Wu.
That's going to be a tough game against Carolina. I mean, there's a lot of tough games, and I'm interested to see how the new acquisitions, how this young team plays against some of these top-tier teams. And we're talking Toronto, we're talking Carolina, we're talking Tampa Bay 3 times.
Mm-hmm. 3 times.
And then you get the Rangers at the end of the month,
and the Icelanders.
Yeah.
It's a tough month.
Yeah.
It's a tough month. Buffalo and Ottawa are in between there. Minnesota's in between there as well. That's a beefy team out there out west. So
the Devils are capable. They're definitely capable.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just that they got to mitigate
100%.
some of these mistakes in their defensive zone, and that's what they need to address immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is not a problem.
No.
You know, it's defensively, you know, there has been some late game collapses. There's been, you know, just boneheaded plays. But I will have to say, though, it's not Damon Severson. I think he's been playing great.
He's been playing a lot better.
And there were a couple of instances where Severson had the puck, and I'm like, no, don't pass it across ice. Nope, just dumped it in. Because I think he, you know, there are times where you see like he's thinking about it, and then boom, he just dumps it in.
He heard
gets
you.
a change. Yeah.
He felt the spirits of Sam Wu.
He listens to the podcast all the time.
He's like, I don't want to be, you know, ridiculed by Sam Wu anymore on Devils After Dark and the Wu Report.
Yeah.
So I better not make that troubling pass. I mean, that's just what I heard, Sam Wu. That's just what I heard.
He almost became a Kraken in my eyes.
All right, Sam Wu, let's wrap this bad boy up on a Sunday night. It's getting late over there on the East Coast. We're about to hit the 11 p.m. hour for this true Devils After Dark edition. Don't forget, tomorrow you got the Hockey on Tap boys coming along. I'm sure Short Sky will probably be chilling out with Billy and everybody over there as well. And then, yeah, Tuesday, probably, and maybe Monday as well, get yourself a Woo Report.
Yep.
And then Game Day Live. Short Sky and Vinny, and then Devils After Dark Tuesday night after the Leafs game. Yours truly and Sam Wu, right here on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.
Thank you, Scotty. Dropping the podcast at midnight. Thank you for making us part of your day. Devils win 5-4. The captain scores in overtime.
He sure harpoons.
Yes. Till next time.
He sure harpoons the Coyotes.
Till next time, let's go Devils.